Hello, my name is Dr. Jim Trotzer, and I am the author of the book entitled As for Me and My House, Biblical Reflections for Christian Families Across the Family Life Cycle. The primary objective of this book is to assist Christian individuals, couples, and families in developing a Christian family lifestyle. The purpose of this video is to acquaint you with the author and the contents of the book. Professionally, I am a psychologist specializing in marriage and family therapy with 40 years of clinical experience, including 10 years working in a Christian counseling center. As a professor, I have trained master's level graduate students in counseling and taught graduate and undergraduate courses in marriage and family dynamics and group work. I am an author who has written 6 books and 20 articles published in professional journals. Personally, I have accumulated over 77 years of life experience. My wife Toni and I have been married for more than 50 years, and we have 3 married children and 2 grandchildren. Finally, I am a committed and practicing Christian. One thing I have learned in accumulating all this experience is that the key to creating a Christian family is intentionality. Christian families do not just happen. There are no formulas or prescriptions that guarantee the emergence of a Christian family. A Christian family will not just happen automatically because partners as persons are Christians. A Christian family will not eventuate simply because the parents make sure the family goes to church and the children go to Sunday school. All these factors are helpful and conducive to the formation of a Christian family, but individually or collectively, they are not enough. Forming, forging, and living a Christian family lifestyle requires effort, fortitude, stamina, persistence, and most of all, commitment. This reality was made astutely clear by the Old Testament patriarch Joshua in his farewell address to the children of Israel after leading them into the promised land. Listen to his words. "Choose for yourselves this day who you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Such intentionality is mandatory. That is why I titled this book, As for Me and My House, Biblical Reflections for Christian Families Across the Family Life Cycle. Now, who is this book intended for? Who are the target audiences? I can think of at least 5. 1, Christian individuals, couples, and families who intend to live a Christian lifestyle and raise children in a Christian environment. 2, pastors who minister to couples and families, preach on topics related to family living, and lead Bible studies on family life. 3, teachers and professors who incorporate Christian principles, concepts, and practices into their family dynamics classes. 4, students who are training to become social service providers with a Christian orientation. And 5, therapists who counsel individuals, couples, and families from a Christian perspective. And what about the content, organization, and structure of the book? The book consists of a preface, a prologue, and 12 chapters. The Bible is the primary resource and reference for writing the book, and the family life cycle is the organizing framework. Most chapters conclude with an application and reflection section composed of Bible studies, self-assessment tools, and group activities that apply chapter material. Now for a brief overview of the book's contents. The preface and the prologue introduce the author and the contents of the book. Chapter 1 is titled The Origin of Family Problems. The first family problems, or the first family's problems, are discussed. It all started with Adam and Eve. The moment their eyes were opened, all their problems began. Chapter 2 is entitled A Firm Foundation, What God Gives and Every Family Needs. 3 building blocks of a firm foundation are identified and presented as God's gifts to couples and families. Chapters 3 and 4 address marriage as the establishment stage of the family. This stage, which lasts from marriage until the birth of the first child, gives the couple time to innovate and create the relationship upon which the family is built. Chapter 3 is titled Marriage, the Central Core of Family Life, and Chapter 4 is titled The Bonds of Marriage, Love, and Respect. Chapter 5 has the title The New Parent Family, a Matter of Planning. The time frame for this stage is the birth of the first child until about age 2, and the 3 P's of a planned pregnancy are addressed, including the parent's promise, the parent's prayer, and the parent's purpose. Chapter 6 is titled Preschool Families, Parents' Imprint on God's Blueprint. The time frame is defined as the first child, age 2 to 5, plus siblings. The biblical motto for this stage is Proverbs 22, verse 6, which states, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it." Chapter 7 is titled School-Age Families, the Growing Era of Family Life. The time frame for the school-age family is the first child, age 6 to 12, plus siblings. The highlight of this chapter is the story of Jesus in the temple as a 12-year-old boy. I have labeled this incident a school-age family in crisis because it occurs at the cusp of family life between the school-age family and adolescence. The anecdote emphasizes obedience as the child's contribution to family life and also identifies the curriculum for a school-age child's growth. Chapter 8 is on the adolescent family. It's subtitled For Adults Only. The time frame is the first child, age 13 to 18, plus siblings. The parental challenge is how to live with and parent teenagers without becoming like them. The chapter affirms the fact that the parenting teenagers is a labor of love, a test of faith, and a lot of work. Chapter 9 is titled The Young Adult Family, the Launching Stage. The time frame for this stage is the first child, age 18 to about 26 to 30, and involves launching, the first child leaving home to the last child leaving home. A familiar biblical prototype, the parable of the prodigal son, is discussed, and it is pointed out that the parable should be titled The Parable of the Prodigal Son and the Other Older Son. Chapter 10 is about the middle-aged family. It's subtitled Persons, Partners, and Parents in Midlife. The time frame is the empty nest, last child leaving home, to the retirement of both spouses. This stage is often referred to as the muddle in the middle. Midlife experiences are examined with the objective of clearing the clutter and thriving in midlife. Chapter 11 is called The Aging Family, Prequel to Eternity. The time frame is retirement to the death of both spouses. The chapter notes that Christian families can't escape the reality of death. Its prominence is exemplified by a reference to King David in Acts 13, verse 36. When David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep. He was buried with his fathers, and his body decayed. That's the reality, but it's not the end. For the Christian family, there is still the preeminence of hope. That hope is embedded in what is called Christian R&R, that is, resurrection and rapture. In other words, in the aging family, death is inevitable, but hope is endemic. Chapter 12 is titled Post-Divorce Christians, Couples and Families, Publicans and Sinners, or Precious in the Sight of God. This is a cutting-edge chapter. God in the post-divorce family is discussed. Topics covered include recovering from divorce, forming functional single-parent families, and crafting effective remarried families. Well, that's it for now. My hope and prayer is that I've whetted your appetite and stimulated your interest in possibly buying the book, its ebook form or its print form. Thank you, and God bless you.